it's really hard to explain your perspective when you're going through a spiritual awakening to other people, because they either just don't care or they can't understand the perspective shift that you are experiencing. And so this video is to try to help yourself understand what is happening. If you're going through that, it's all good. And also, I mean, you're not here to preach to anyone. Everyone is exactly where they need to be on their journey. But I find it quite useful to try and think about, well, what changed from me to me being awakened? So this video will do that. Think about yourself as two parts. You got your ego and you got your little self. And you have built your whole life on these two parts. The ego part is your mind body. So it's the thoughts that come out of you that create beliefs. So if you have enough thoughts that stick together or are similar, they will form a belief. And then if you have enough beliefs that are similar, that will create an identity. And your ego consists of your mind and your body. The vessel that you are in has the imagination and the personality of this body too. It is born of this world, and so it will die of this world. Because of that, your ego will look to protect itself in anything that it does. And the main way it does that is through certainty. It will keep you in the same job for that factor. It will try to keep you from not being weird for that factor. It is trying to keep certainty, and that is its job because it knows it will die. So that's the first part of you. The second part of you is your little self. This is like your frequency center. It's where you feel your emotions. So the really high vibe emotions of joy and love. Yeah, when you're in those emotions, you feel energized and you can actually feel that energy radiate out of you. You also have the low emotions of anger and fear and sadness, the heavy ones. And think of your little self as where all the trauma is stored as you grow up. And your ego looks to your trauma and tries to build beliefs and identities to protect itself. And so as you grow older, it's building more and more beliefs, and the only reason these beliefs are sticking is because you're giving attention to the thoughts that stem to a belief, because that's naturally where your attention will go. Now that you're like got into a point, you have these little self and your ego humming along, you got your identities, you got your beliefs. At some point, a crack might appear in the ego, and it's normally from external output. It could be a health related issue, it could be a loved one dying, it could also be stress, and for me it was all three of those things happening at the same time. And then a crack happens and you start to unravel these beliefs that you have, and a new perspective forms. And this is where the awakening starts. You're like, what is going on? I've had all these beliefs, they're not making much sense anymore. And you're starting to form a new perspective, and that perspective is your consciousness, because you're awakening to the point that these thoughts happen automatically. Well, if they are happening automatically, I'm acting on them unconsciously, which means I'm creating beliefs based off these like lies that my ego has formed, because it's just there to protect itself. And so you're going through this shift of new perspective, and you're uncovering the true self of who you are, and that is the fact that you are a spirit having this human body. You are energy of your consciousness experiencing this vessel. You are the I am, a fractal of the source of everything. And you'll get to this point at some point. But you're on this journey of uncovering your true self. And so now you have this new perspective that sits on top of your little self and your ego, and that is your I am. That is your consciousness. That is source, fractal of source itself. And now you can see yourself as having this experience through this body, having this personality of this ego. Being where you are suddenly becomes this super positive thing, because you're like, well, everything in my life has served me to get to this point. Even the hard stuff that to get through, everything has served me. So now that you're here and you have this new awakened view of yourself, you can see how the ego was serving you, as the ego was born of this world, and so it sees separation in everything it does. And so it's going to create these beliefs based off this world of separation, because it's born of this world, it is of this world. But you can start to unravel all these negative beliefs that aren't true. The fact that you would lack in anything is not true. It'll get rid of that belief. The fact that you aren't loved will get rid of that, if there is a belief in there. So from this perspective now, this is where I've created the authenticity map, because your ego isn't here. You're not here to destroy your ego, because the ego is this body that's giving you this experience. The personality, the things that it likes to do, the things that gives this vessel joy, you're here to experience those things, and they are a guide for you to be your true self. And so look at your ego as a place of intent. Look at your ego as, well, okay, I like doing these things, how can I experience them? And be intent with that. Your little self is this frequency center, right? So you can align to the frequencies that you want it to experience. You will raise your vibration and become a better person because of it. And because of this, other people will see your energy, feel your energy, and also do the same thing. And love will spread slowly through the world. People will stop seeing the separation, which is causing all this suffering in this world, and align to their true self. And the good thing is, or the great thing is, you just got to be yourself. Your authentic self will align you to this energy, and it resides in the present moment. It resides in aligning to your true self, which is the I am. And it's really exciting. So I know if you're going through the dark night of the soul, all you're doing is killing off all those negative beliefs, all those negative perspectives, those identities that you've been clinging to. You don't need to connect to any identity that the ego has served. They are just a part of this vessel. You are no longer that. You are this, the I am. And that is where the cornerstone of your authenticity lies in. Yeah, hope this helps. Thanks, bye.